Hello everyone, and welcome back to Qmenera, an Experience Points podcast. We're an all-queer cast Numenera podcast. I'm Kenny, the cast member who plays the lovable and simple lad Hillian. If you love our show, we hope you'll rate us and review us on iTunes or wherever you consume your podcasts. Every review makes Kelric, the GM and producer's eyes, sparkle, and helps new listeners to find us. We don't pay to advertise any of the podcasts on the Experience Points network, so we hope you'll recommend us to your friends and just about anyone. Did you know that we had a Patreon? We are grateful to everyone who's already become a patron. You keep our mics on and our dice rolling. We've got some great rewards, so check them out at patreon.com/experiencepoints.
Hello, and welcome back to Qmenera, your favorite all-queer cast Numenera podcast. I'm Kelric, my pronouns are he, him, and, as Miu would say, here is my fabulous cast.
Hi, I'm Jess. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm playing Tiyune, a mechanical nano who rides the lightning.
Hi, my name's Aaron. My pronouns are they, them, and I am playing Railu, a graceful glaive who speaks with a silver tongue.
Hi, my name's Kenny. My pronouns are he, they, and I play Hillian Jossa, an earnest Jack who howls at the moon.
And I believe it is Railu who has the recap from last time.
So after recovering from the explosion of that vile city, we found ourselves running from something that we could only assume was a Drask. Turns out we're right, and it turns out that they run in packs. So that's exciting. Thankfully, we managed to get away from them. We spent most of the time of that day just sitting around the tree line and discussing what we were going to do. We managed to talk to Daxum's parents and break the terrible news that not only is Daxum dead, but there's not much that we're going to be able to do besides get the data that we found back to the Aeon priests. And anyway, we made it back to our home after talking with them. They took the news rather hard, but they took it in about as great as I would expect. There we discussed our plan for the next day. Tiyune is going to go and leave town, and we'll plan on meeting up with her after the town meeting that we're going to call. I don't know how this is going to end, but we're about to find out.
Why don't we start with Tiyune? And how much sleep are you planning on getting? And how early are you planning on leaving?
Probably not a lot of sleep. We slept for several days not long ago, and we already got in to town pretty late, and Tiyune wants to leave town before too many people actually wake up, and it seems like this is a pretty broad community. There might be some farmers and stuff, so they would probably wake up pretty early, so she only get maybe 4 hours of sleep before she gets up and heads out.
All right, why don't you do a quick stealth roll just to make sure no one sees you leaving? I do love this game. And that would be our first one, which allows me a free GM intrusion. All right. So, with a 1, Adalolle takes his job very seriously. And as you noticed when you first got there, they were just making their rounds, going around checking the fencing, making sure that for all of their flaws, Adalolle is very dedicated to this little village. And seeing a lone person walking out of the village with only 2 legs definitely catches his attention as he's making his rounds, and he just happens to see you, and he calls out, hey, who are you? And they start running to catch up with you. And they can't quite see who you are exactly in the dark, but they can see you.
You know who I am. I'm one of the people who was sent by the Aeon priests, and I'm leaving.
What? Why are you leaving? Where are did your friends die in the explosion thing that happened? Was that you?
No, they're back in the house that you were letting us stay in. If you want information, I suggest you go speak with them.
Why are you leaving instead of staying to give us your report?
I'm leaving because the Aeon priests need to know what happened, and it's going to take months or weeks, a lot of time for us to get to them. So I am leaving early so that I can get to them, and they're staying behind to give you information.
What is that thing?
It's, as far as I can tell, it's something that would kill everyone. So I'm trying to get it out of town. If you'd like me to keep it in this village and potentially kill everyone in this village, then I can do that.
Where did you find that?
Seriously? I just told you that I have something that can kill everyone in your village, and you want to ask me more questions and keep me here?
Yes. You have not been the most trustworthy of people since you got here. We have been we were told that you were going to find a cure.
Tina's going to keep walking.
And you say this? He follows after you and he grabs your shoulder. He says, "We're not done here."
That's fine, but listen, this thing that I have, if you touch it, it could kill everyone. I'm trying to get it out of your village. If you want to talk, at least walk with me until I get out of range of your village.
What is out of range of our village?
I don't know. That's why I'm walking away.
So you had something that was far away, you brought it back to our village, and now you're saying you have to take it away from our village. Why did you bring it to our village in the first place? What is going on?
As I said, if you want information, go talk to the two people who are staying behind.
Adalolle suddenly just stops and looks at you, and you see a coldness enter their face. And they say, "Okay, I see how it is." And they head back to the village. So
cool.
You two, you wake up in the morning. What do you do?
This just got so exciting. Railu's going to go about their daily stuff. I don't know anything's going on, so I'm going to make breakfast for me and Hillian from our rations. Because if I remember right, the village gave us some food from beforehand that we had packed up. So whatever rations we have.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that's all done, me and Hillian probably have a nice morning and chit chat because I get along with Hillian. So
do you think they have eggs?
I'm sure that they do, but we have some right here, and I'll point to the food that's in front of you because I'm assuming I made eggs. You're like, yeah, I made some for you. So what I'm worried about today. Also, I just decided that Railu totally opens up to Hillian when Tiyune is not around. Hillian, I'm really worried about today. I know that they're really hopeful that we were going to find a cure and we didn't, and I don't think they're going to take it well.
Well, all we can really do is our best, and while you did try to reassure them many, many times that we would be successful, we're only human.
And Railu puts their head down and they go, "I swear all I was trying to do was give them a semblance of hope that we might find something, and I don't know if I did it wrong or if they just took it wrong. I don't even know why I'm here, but now I'm going to do the best I can to turn it around."
Well, I know that you will do your best, and believe me, we need you.
And Railu kind of smiles at that, and they put their head up and they have their performance grin on, and they go, "Hillian, I'm so glad that we found you in that forest. I still don't know what you were doing there, but it's the best thing I've ever stumbled across in the middle of nowhere."
What?
and then Railu just takes a big bite of breakfast.
I like walking in the forest. It's a lot of fun. You find good animals, and then you find eggs.
And Railu smiles and goes, "Hillian, I have a feeling you should probably keep Jacques near you today."
Oh, don't worry. And I open my bag and Jacques kind of pops out.
All right. Well, let's finish up our breakfast and get on with this. We need to meet Tiyune.
Okay. So you finish your breakfast and then
walk outside and go find Adalolle.
So you try to open the door, which the door opens out and it doesn't move.
I try harder.
It does not move.
Okay, I try to force it open, kick it open.
Cool. Why don't you give me a might roll?
Sure. And I go, Hillian, something's wrong. The door's stuck. I'm just gonna roll.
Did you close the latch again that way that you were supposed to?
I don't think so. I think Tiyune left this morning. Maybe this is probably a joke. So I'm just gonna make a straight roll. Let's see how that goes. That's a 10.
Yeah, it does not budge.
Okay, real quick though, because I forgot to ask earlier, can I do some recovery rolls for my intelligence because we slept?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Okay, cool. Hey, Hillian, can you help me with this? I can't seem to get the door open.
Yeah, sure.
No.
Okay, as far as I'm aware, this is an abandoned building, right?
Yeah.
This is someone's house that we're staying in?
Yep.
Cool, I take my sword to it.
Okay.
I just start I guess I'd start probably with the pommel, so I'd probably start trying to pound the door open, and then if that doesn't work, I'd probably if I feel like there are no windows, right?
No, there was a second door out to the Aneen pen.
Oh, I'll try that one. Sorry, I forgot to lay out of the house, so I forgot there was another door. I'll try that door.
Yeah, it does not open.
Gonna try to force that one too.
Go for it.
Ooh, 19?
19. You are able to open it all of 3 inches and see outside. And you notice that there are several villagers outside the doors. And you hear them call, "They're trying to get out!" And someone says, "Go get Adalolle. Let's deal with this now."
Okay, so I'm gonna keep forcing the door, but I'm also gonna yell at, "Can we help you? Is there a reason you're blocking the door?"
Is there a reason one of you left?
Yes,
Out?
to go talk to the priests. We were going to tell you all of our information later today. We were going to call a town meeting. That's where we're going right now.
Adalolle has already told us what you were doing.
What we're doing? What are we doing?
And they start
How
shoving
do you
the
know?
door closed.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep shoving it open. Fight me.
Okay.
Not you, obviously. It's just like my
Roll
attitude.
it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put in effort this time.
And I'll help.
All right.
What you got?
It's not great. I think that makes it like a 9.
Yeah, no, they basically close the door in your face.
Cool. I'm gonna start hacking at it with my sword. You're not trapping me in here.
That actually does bring up a really interesting thing. Your sword. You did not roll its level. Would you please roll 1d6?
Sure. Ooh, 6.
That is quite good. Okay, so your sword will start doing some serious damage.
As I'm doing that, I'm gonna try to talk them out of it. I suppose because I don't know. I'm sure they know I'm hitting the door, but I don't know if they know I'm hacking at the door.
Mhm.
And I'll go, "Listen, I don't know what happened. We sent out. I don't know what you guys are talking about. And if you would talk with us, that'd be great. We sent out our envoy to go to the next city over, and to go over to the next city and alert the priests that we're done here. And the 2 of us stayed behind to explain what happened to the village. I don't know what you've heard or what you've been told, but you cannot hold us here. Please let us out so we can explain what happened, or I could yell it from here. All I want is my way to tell you where we were going."
You get nothing in return until Adalolle shows up.
Oh, cool. Okay, well, do I
And-
get through the door? Or does he show up faster than that?
He shows up pretty quickly. He was basically waiting.
Oh, cool, okay.
And you rolled a 19 for opening the door before, so you actually saw that people were armed. They had cudgels and other sort of weapons at the ready.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. Adalolle comes up and he says, "I don't know that there's anything really to talk about. We didn't really want to trust the Aeon priests, and if this is how they act, first saying that they can save us, then saying that they have a Numenera that is so dangerous that they have to get away from the village after bringing it into our village and sneaking out in the middle of the night with, for what we know, something that could have saved us. I do not think that there is any point in going any further with this relationship."
All right, great. So if you have all the answers without me telling you anything, then let us out and we shall leave. If there's no point in going further with this relationship.
No, I think we need to send a pretty clear message to the Aeon priests that they are unwelcome.
Oh, and what message would that be, Adalolle? What do you plan to do? Please tell me your plan before I give you any information at all. Unless you would like to hear my side of things.
Oh, we've heard your side of things before.
Before? Oh, please tell
the
me.
village, bringing us hope, lying to us over and over and over again.
We haven't lied to you once, Adalolle. We found information that could be helpful to you, and we plan on bringing it back to the priests.
The priests, not to us. Wonderful.
Yes, would you like information? That's what I'm trying to give you.
He makes a gesture at one of the village people, and they start bringing fire to burn down the hut with you all inside it.
Cool. I continue to hack down the door. Hillian, get the door.
Unreasonable.
Hack down a door?
No.
Oh, okay.
Adalolle is
What?
pushed beyond reason at this. That a cure is all this village has wanted since you all showed up, since before you all showed up. And yeah.
So, and if I apply effort, that'll be.
You have to do all that before you roll.
Oh, okay.
You start doing some damage to the door.
Okay, let's see. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. Okay, was Hillian able to force the door open with the 14?
A little bit, but I mean, have you barricaded in? They've had a good part of the morning and Adalolle did bring in, their best people.
A little bit is all I need. So here's my plan. If Hillian is able to force open the door even a little bit,
yep.
Have a spike and hammer in my inventory, and I will take out this metal spike and drive it into the little bit of ground that he's able to force open, so they can't close it again.
Oh, clever. Okay, cool. You can do that.
And then I will, I'm assuming me and Hillian together are going to continue to try to force the door open.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also, the minute anybody tries to come at me, I'm stabbing them.
Oh, yeah. They're more worried about setting the house on fire than coming at you.
Okay, cool.
So they set the house on fire.
Okay, I feel like we have some time to get out, though. I don't know what this house is made of or how quickly fire spreads.
It's that weird looking wood with like the sparkly pink bones in it that were kind of weird.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So it is still wood.
Yeah, it's still wood.
Okay, so apply effort. That's going to be a 17 plus 3, 20.
Yeah,
unnatural.
You start making some headway with the door. Are you working on the same door?
Yes.
I'm assuming me and Hillian are teaming up on one door. There's no point in both of us trying to open separate doors with barricades on them.
Are you using a weapon of any sort?
Yeah, I'm using my mace.
Okay. So, I mean, you lose one round of attacking the door to drive the spike into the ground, and actually probably 2 rounds because you have to go get the spike and the hammer, put your sword away, go drive the spike in once Hillian gets the door open, and then pick your sword up and start hitting again. So, all this is happening.
Is this doing any damage to the door? Like, I don't know. How, I've never had to attack a door before. I don't know how well this falls apart.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty sturdy door, but your weapon is really sturdy. So you're not damaging your sword at all. Your sword is very sturdy, and I'm assuming a mace can certainly handle the hits. And so, yeah, they're starting to burn the house down. So it's filling with smoke as y'all are trying to cut your way out.
Well, I guess my question is the door does the door look like it's taking any sort of good damage, or do I think it would be more worthwhile to shove it open? Like, I've never taken a sword to a door before.
Sure, you're able to start slicing through the door after they set fire to it, and you all are able to, see that you're making, I guess I'm just not explaining that you are definitely seeing that you are getting through the door. It's just taking some time, and you're seeing that there is a mob gathering outside that has gathered outside thanks to Adalolle.
Yeah, Railu wants to focus their effort on the door, then trying to sunder that and try to get it down so that way we can actually get out.
That's fair. And you two together are making some good progress, but you are definitely seeing that there is a mob in front of you with weapons, and Adalolle is at the front. They are ready for you to get out of the house.
Okay, so while we are working on the door, I think since we can see out into the crowd, Hillian will shout out and say, "This serves no purpose. We're just trying to help, and by locking us in here, we can't do anything." Can I roll persuasion?
Sure.
Cool. And I'm going to apply effort. Okay.
This is not our day.
No.
It's another one.
And I'm not going to spend XP because I want to be able to level up soon.
Yeah, so you call out, and there is no one here that you can see who is a friendly face. You just see a mob of people who are very upset. And Adalolle has had a couple of hours to whip them into a frenzy about the Order of Truth just abandoning them and lying to them, which is what their experience is.
Am I able to get through the door yet?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm assuming there's stuff in front of me though, because I broke down the door, but there's still the stuff that was barricading the door.
Yeah, you'll have to just climb over some stuff. It would just be, a simple speed roll.
Okay.
I think for you it wouldn't even be a roll because of all of your bonuses.
Okay. I want to do the best that I can, and I say, Hillian, run. And then I'm going to climb over the top, and I'm going to lunge towards Adalolle, and I'm going to try to put him to sleep immediately with my sleep inducer.
Okay, cool. Make your roll for that.
Okay. Is it a speed, or what is that?
I think that makes sense. I mean, it's a touch attack, but your speed is what you use for most of your stuff, so it does not matter to me.
Okay, because I know that I just have to touch them with it, like it doesn't even matter where, but I also know I'm like lunging at a person, so I wasn't sure what you wanted. Okay, so speed.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay, so it's not balance or careful movements, and it's not performing arts, so I can't use those, but I will put in effort. It's going to take it down to a 12.
I would actually say you are using careful movement because you are lunging for a specific person and trying to grab them, not just anyone.
Okay, cool. I didn't know because it's like lunging, like it's kind of a desperation thing to get out of that house, so I wasn't quite sure.
You had enough time to tell Hillian to run, so I think you're focused.
Okay, cool. That sounds good then. Let's get a good roll, please. That's not bad. So 10 plus 6, essentially.
Oh, yeah, sure. With the 16, you definitely touched Adalolle directly. And how does the sleep inducer work? What does that look like when you use it?
So I always imagined it as almost like finger symbols, like little contact points on my fingers.
Okay.
And that I actually have to like activate, so that like I imagined them as like, because I think Railu wears gloves is how I always imagined it. So they have these little 2 contact points that just slip onto their fingers like little finger cuffs. And so they, as they're climbing out, they kind of like tap them together, and that activates them, and they look forward. And this is something that they used to use back when they were performing in cities, that they would have on them to escape in case anything got too hairy. They'd knock the person out and then run away.
Cool. Yeah, you knock Adalolle out. How long does it last for?
It lasts for 10 minutes and puts the victim to sleep for 10 minutes or until awakened by a violent action or extreme noise.
Okay.
So I don't know if mob yelling counts as like extreme noise.
Yeah, I think you've got a little bit of time. What are you doing after that?
I am... Wait, did Hillian run? I guess that's...
Yeah, so Hillian follows out after Railu does. So they're going to make a speed roll with applied effort.
Okay.
To make it out.
Oh.
So it's going to be a 15.
Oh, yeah.
I think they'll stay to see what happens, but after he sees Adalolle go down, he'll look for a way through the crowd.
Okay, so once you get out, you see that it seemed like a really big crowd when they had you surrounded on 2 door fronts with no other way to see out. But it's really a crowd of about 18 people. So it's 9 in front of one door and several guarding the other door on the other side. And the group in front of you is starting to call out for the other group to say that you all have made it out at the back.
Railu, quickly, before they group.
Yeah, with Adalolle knocked out, I think we'll take the pincer and just like bolt out. Though, oh god, this is going to be
I think maybe we knock the Aneen pen open.
That's a great idea. I was just thinking of saying something that could have some pretty great or really bad consequences, and I'm trying to decide.
You can do separate actions.
Yeah, you should definitely knock the Aneen pen open. That's brilliant.
Yeah, so I think Hillian will try to, like, if there's a gate in front of them, we'll just burst through the gate.
Yeah, absolutely. Just give me a quick might roll then, and it should not be hard for you. I mean, you totally just bust the gate down. And the Aneen are really riled up because of the smoke and the fire and people screaming and yelling and being upset. The whole town is actually starting to converge towards you, but only these 18 plus Adalolle were involved in trying to burn you to death. And the Aneen start to, in their panic state, are starting to head towards the crowd. What is Railu doing?
Okay, so this went different than I expected. Also, so 18 people isn't like most of the village? Because for some reason I imagined it to be a rather small village, but...
It's small, but it's actually about 100 to 200 people. I mean, it's not huge.
Oh, we might have just made a bad mistake then. Well, cut my losses. I think Railu is just gonna book it along with Hillian.
Okay.
I think that this village is a lost cause at this point, because even if we were able to calm them down, we still have nothing to offer them. So I think I'm just going to be like, Hillian, let's go. Oh, can we ride Aneen? Do you want to try to jump on an Aneen and ride it?
I love you're thinking so much. Sorry, Kenny. Did not mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
All right.
Are the Aneen rideable? And B, are they tame enough?
They're definitely tame enough if you can. I mean, Railu's done this once before, and.
Oh, okay. I'm going to roll an intellect check to see if I can calm one down as it is passing by.
Wait. So you're rolling int to determine if you can, but not actually trying to.
No, that would be a trying.
Okay, so you're trying to communicate enough using your empathy to calm an Aneen down so that you can mount it and ride away.
Consoling task?
Sure. Bring it.
Haha!
Oh.
And that's one higher than that.
Yeah, so you totally do it.
We jump on the Aneen and ride off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Sunrise.
Yeah. Normal people almost never succeed. And Hillians too. Awesome. What's Railu doing?
I see him calm the Aneen, and I ride the Aneen. I climb onto the Aneen and go, get on, let's go. And I pull Hillian up, and I try to steer the Aneen towards where we know.
Okay, so the two of you are riding the same Aneen.
That was, I mean, how they're pretty big, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Bareback Aneen riding. I love it. Sure. God, it's all driving me crazy. Yeah, make a roll for, I guess, speed for directing?
Yeah, I can do that. Is this careful movement because it's bareback riding an Aneen? Or balance? It doesn't have to be, I was just curious.
I think yes, and what that does is balance out having Hillian on there with you. So
cool.
Basically, yeah.
All right, and then I'm going to apply effort.
And this is going to be a, oh goodness, this is a TD4. You have to beat a 12.
Okay, cool. I'm going to apply effort.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is a thing, but it doesn't hurt to ask. Because Hillian calmed it, can I get an asset?
Sure.
Cool. So that would bring it to a 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I got it with the 2 bit braces. I'm not sure.
All right. What did you apply?
I got a 5. I applied effort, and
so
then
that's an 8.
From
and an asset is a 9.
Okay.
So
and that's
exactly what you needed.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure.
Oh no, what you needed was a 12. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's why I wasn't sure if it had been lowered one step or not. Okay.
No, because Hillian counted as you were trying to write it as you pulled him up and getting settled and stuff. So no, you can re-roll it if you want to spend the XP.
I already did that to re-roll a 1 earlier.
So does that mean that we don't succeed in writing, or what would that mean if a failure here?
In this case, it basically means that Hillian gets pulled up on to the Aneen with Railu, and y'all actually sort of unbalance the Aneen, and so it gets pushed into another one, and so it gets riled back up into the stampede, and they're gonna start running out of the pen with y'all, but you have no control over where you're going at all. None.
Would you mind a second of metagaming?
Yeah.
Would that be okay?
Yeah.
It might be a good idea to just let these Aneen run for a minute, because then at least the villagers won't know which direction we went. Adalolle saw Tiyune leave town, but they don't know that she continued in that same direction or where she was headed really. It seemed like Adalolle found Tiyune as she was leaving town and probably didn't stick around to see which path she took. So if you follow along with the herd and then try to calm the Aneen again once it's a little bit farther away from everyone, that might be a better plan anyway.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Out.
I was I'm just going to let it go. We'll find, I could run into a building. Who knows? We're going to find out though.
That's fair.
Well, so you're caught up in the stampede again. You are not on the lead Aneen. And why don't we have, since Since Hillian started it, why don't you roll me a percentile dice and give me high or low?
I feel like I have to stay on high because, better bet black all the way through until it hits.
Okay.
98!
Ah, wow. I give you the choice. Do you want the Stampede to crush Adalolle as they're running past him since he's asleep on the ground, or not?
No.
Okay.
No.
Adalolle gets really beaten up and basically kicked awake by the stampeding Aneen, and the kick actually throws them out of the way of the rest of the stampede. And they're out cold. Like that, going from sleep to kick to hit the wall, they're out. So y'all have some time. And why don't we put a pin in this and go back to Tiyune? And so, Tiyune.
Yep.
Where are you going? Have you found a place? What direction? What happened here? After Adalolle just walked off, what did you do?
So yeah, Tiyune would have just kept an eye on him to make sure he wasn't watching which direction she went in, while continuing to walk out of town, and then looked for any sort of path or road that looks like it led in the direction of Ephraim? What is the town called? Sorry, I know we've asked 5 times now.
Ephraimon.
So she would have looked for any path or road that looked like it led in the direction of Ephraim, and would have basically explained this, what her plan was to Railu and Hillian before she left. Basically find the road that looks like it leads the most directly to Ephraim. If they don't find her while they're traveling, then just to meet her in Ephraim, but she'll try to find a road that looks like it would be the obvious choice.
Yeah.
Would have found that road and then just tried to stay as close to it as possible while also remaining as stealthy as possible, trying not to draw anyone's attention since she has this very dangerous Numenera.
So let's roll that back a little bit to where you are watching to see if Adalolle is watching to see where you go.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee you that while Adalolle let go of you and was walking back to the village, they were watching to see what direction you were going. So why don't you roll a int perception check? Oh, a 19. Absolutely. You see that as Adalolle is watching, the very first house they get to, they wake up the people and get someone to watch you and start following you to make sure that the village does not lose sight of you.
Mm.
So you definitely can keep moving in the direction you're going, but you see that Adalolle was extremely angry and is not just letting you walk away from this.
Okay. Well, I mean, they are. They're just making sure that I'm being followed, right?
Yeah. Well, yes.
Okay. So I see that there's someone following me, though.
Yes.
Do we have any idea of how far away Ephraim is? How long of a journey it is?
It's several days. If you have mounts walking, it's at least a week, possibly longer. It's not super close. It's in the middle of the Baadenu forest. So
okay. So yeah, Tiyune will. So she sees the person following her, and she's aware that it's a long journey. Does it look like that person has anything, or they just woke up and started following her?
This person just woke up and just started following her. You don't know what other steps Adalolle has taken, but you can tell they are now taking steps. So your time is, you can assume that better prepared pursuit will be on its way.
Sorry, I'm just checking my inventory to see if I have anything useful.
Shoot him with your laser. No, I'm just kidding. The one that, melts metal.
I had 3 ciphers originally, but used 2 of them up during the course of this.
Mm.
And maybe my Numenera too, I don't remember. Yeah, I've used a lot of stuff during the course of this adventure.
Okay. Which is pretty much how the cipher system is supposed to work. You're supposed to be using stuff all the time.
Right. Okay, so she'll continue walking and basically choose the path that she would have chosen anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Is it pretty desolate desert? Is there like a ton of forest around that she could potentially hide in?
Yeah, you were only about 15 to 20 minute walk from the forest edge, so taking the road takes you a little bit longer because it sort of has to travel along the edge of the forest before cutting in. And so you can choose to cut in before that if you want to, and try to hide and be stealthy about it. That's cool.
So Tiyune's not going to try to get into the forest too close to where the town is because where this village is, because they go in and out of this forest all the time. So they would be much more familiar with it than she would be.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, her plan is basically to outwalk this person. She has to fly for several days. This person is eventually going to have to turn back or stop walking. And in that time, if there are other paths, she'll try to misdirect this person, but there's not a lot that she can do at this point because she's not very stealthy anyway. So there's pretty much all she can do is just keep walking and keep that person in her line of sight, keep looking back to make sure she can still see them.
Okay. After about 45-ish minutes of walking, you're into the forest, you're on the path, you're on your way, you can start to hear the sound of mounted riders. And, they are not right up on you, but they're definitely going to be able to catch up with you quicker than this person who was just walking, following you.
Okay, then when she hears the mounted rider, she'll get off the path so that it's not at least as obvious, and try to be stealthy and keep moving.
Okay.
Best she can.
Are you keeping on your cape that flaps, or what are you doing with that?
Yeah, I guess she'll take that off and put it in her bag.
Okay. All right. Well, give me a stealth roll.
Okay. Is that speed?
Yes. Okay. So you are not super stealthy with a 5 as you are heading through the forest. So you leave a pretty obvious trail of where you cut in. They'll be coming around the corner in a pretty short time. Give me a perception check. That's intelligence.
Yeah, my mouse was dying, I think.
Okay. And you applied some edge? All right. So with the 7, looking around, you can see that, there are a lot of little broken down pieces of wood and stuff. And you notice a couple of large-ish swaths of blue, really iridescent blue in some areas, about 30 feet ahead of you, that are broken up by some yellow and black. They kind of stand out to you as a quote-unquote thing, but you'd have to investigate further to know what they are.
So is it the sort of thing that if someone were to enter the forest at this spot, their eye would probably be drawn to that thing?
Yeah, it's not super hard to see them. It's definitely visible, but to know exactly what you're heading up on, you have to get closer to investigate because it's 30 feet away. So it could be dangerous. It could be nothing. It could be, just a weird growth. It could be anything, but definitely something that catches your eye.
Okay. Out of game, it seems like this is the sort of thing you're trying to draw me toward, but in game, this would be the sort of thing that if Tiyune saw a brightly colored thing while she's trying to hide, she would head away from it.
I'm just saying there are options for you here.
Okay.
This is a thing. It could be anything in this world. You know that things can be dangerous or helpful. Just
right
on what you do.
Real quick, one thing that I think is important to know is that even though we're quote unquote tier 1 or whatever it is, we're still considered amazingly powerful individuals at that tier. So I don't think Tiyune is the type to fight, but you are very capable of defending yourself is what I think my thoughts would be if you have to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sure Tiyune would be aware that she can defend herself, but would also not want to have to stop and potentially fight off, especially very misguided villagers. Because at this point, it's her understanding that Adalolle has probably gone back and spread some more lies to the rest of his villagers to try to get people to come after her. So she would be hesitant to just start a fight with them, and is also very aware that she's not good at talking to people and has a -3 in persuasion and is not going to be able to convince them of anything.
Adalolle is the worst. That's all I want to say.
I don't know that Adalolle really lied. they're speaking from their experience with you.
Well, the Adalolle would have maybe exaggerated a little bit to present Tiyune as a threat. That, like, she was also being honest. She had something that could potentially destroy this village, and she wanted to get it out of the village. And the Adalolle's response to that could very easily, like, was very clearly like, all right, well, I guess we're done here, and then sent someone to follow her. So what I'm saying is, like, there's a lot going.
There's a lot. Yeah. So, want to investigate this thing or not?
No. Tiyune will continue into the forest and try to hide her tracks as much as possible. But she will give this very brightly colored thing a wide berth. Because since her eye was drawn right to it when she walked in, she's going to hope that their eyes are also drawn to it and that they might go investigate that, potentially giving her a chance to get away.
All right. Do another stealth check then, because that could be important.
Okay, this time she's going to apply effort.
Oh, yeah. You managed to stealth past whatever this thing was. It was a lovely patch of color. All right. As you're doing that, you probably get another 20 feet past this blue thing when you hear people crashing through the forest behind you. And roll a percentile die, high or low.
High.
All right.
Ugh.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you the option on a GM intrusion or not. Do you want the XP or no? You can pay me to not have it.
I don't want to deal with these people. Like, I just want to get away from them. So I guess I'm going to say no.
All right. Go ahead and deduct the XP from your box. And these people are coming through, and they're so busy looking for you that they don't pay any attention to the blue thing on the ground. And they wake up this thing called you see something explode off the ground. And it looks like an amazing moth, like huge, with bright blue wings and these yellow and black spots on them that look like skull faces. As the people are there, you hear them start to scream because as you're watching from a distance, you see some light manifest off the wings and catch all of them and start to hurt them in some way. It's up to you whether you stick around to find out what happens or not, but whatever this thing was, it winds up attacking them.
And it's attacking, like, all of them? All of them are now distracted by this thing?
Oh, yeah. There were only 4, and they are all caught in this thing's flesh-withering light.
And it seems like the thing, whatever it is, hasn't seen her.
Yeah, your stealth roll was fine. You are 20 feet beyond this thing. It is not paying any attention to you.
Tiyune's getting out of there.
Awesome. Well done. Did you want to roll to see if you know what it is?
Oh, sure.
It's just a quick int roll. Nope. It's just a giant moth. All right. Back to our Aneen riders. You all have been riding. You've just been racing through town. Like, it's just... The stampede is just racing through town. You've gone completely in the opposite direction of Tiyune. And you are heading in the direction towards the Daxam's parents' house and out of the city towards where the hunting ground and, the area where the Juraskar you saw were, and the road up to Daxam's space. What do you all do?
So that's the opposite direction of where Tiyune went?
Yes, Tiyune went out the front of the city because that's the road that y'all came in on, which is the caravan road.
Cool.
So Tiyune came out the eastern side. You are sort of heading northeast.
Is the entire stampede going this way?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's all over.
Perfect. Okay.
Y'all are being jostled and pummeled. Luckily, you're on the outside, But you all, after you make your decisions, you will have to make a speed roll to see if you can stay on the Aneen while this is going on.
Okay, cool. So here's my thought. The battery that we had pointed in the direction of this town. So theoretically, if we go back to where Daxam's place was, and then we go to that battery and we follow that sigil, it'll lead us towards the town. And we might lead up with Tiyune. Like, obviously, you don't know if we're going to meet up with Tiyune because it depends on how we did things, but it would lead towards the town.
Sure. And I thought you took the battery.
We did, but there was the sigil on the ground that you said pointed towards the town.
Absolutely. There was the sigil of the convergence on the ground, facing in the direction of where Ephraimon is, however far away that is. Okay.
Hillian, if I can get control of this beast, I feel like we have to change the plan. With them being as radical as they are, I think we need to head back towards Daxam's. I think we need to stay away from which direction Tiyune went. I think we head back to where we found the sigil for Daxam and go towards the city from there. What do you think?
Okay, I mean, as long as we meet up with Tiyune.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to grab control of this Aneen.
Go for it.
All right, I'm gonna apply some effort.
So last time we did this as an int roll to soothe the beast from Hillian's perspective. How is Railu going? Are you going to do brute force? What is your plan?
So my plan is now that they're probably away from the fire, and that now they're just stampeding to stampede.
Mm-hmm.
I am thinking that I will try to direct it out of the crowd, because you said we're kind of on the outside of the crowd.
Yep.
Direct it out of the crowd with my knees, so that way it'll actually like steer out, and then we can calm it down once it gets out of that pack mine.
Okay, sure. That would be a speed roll, I guess.
Cool. That's what I'm good at. Does that count as careful movement? I'm going to ask every time, probably.
Yeah, I don't think this one does.
Cool. Okay.
I think this is pretty challenging. You're in a stampede, trying to just direct something off with your knees.
Can I get an asset for having done it before? Because last time I jumped on top of it and like calmed it down when Hillian was getting stampeded.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. And I applied effort, so let's find out. Hey, how about an nat 20?
Nice. Yes. You are the Aneen Whisperer. You manage to just use your knees, and when it starts to fight a little, you know when to use enough force to convince it to go the direction you want, and when to, just let it have its head. You do everything right, and you are able to peel this Aneen off and get it quieted down. It is off to the side just before the path that takes you into the Ba'adenu woods, and it is just breathing heavily with you and Hillian on its back.
Can the major effect be that the entire stampede went straight into the Ba'adenu forest on the path that we're going to follow?
Sure.
Cool. Now they can't track us.
Yes.
Cool. So that happens. And then I figure the whole pack rushes by us, and I kind of pull the Aneen off into like right behind the tree line so we can't be seen anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, that stampede is going to bring a lot of attention this way. I don't want to go back towards that village, and we need to get towards Tiyune. Do you think we should just hide behind these tree lines and get back to where Tiyune was headed, or do you think we should head back to Daxam's area and go from there? I just want to meet back up with her.
I don't feel like going near the town is a good idea at all. I think we just need to ride out towards the direction that Tiyune left.
I don't want to be out in the open like that, though, is my concern.
I mean, they have a lot of problems right now. There's a hut on fire, and there's an Aneen stampede, so...
Perhaps we could follow the stampede a little bit longer and try to get some mounts for us?
I would say with your 20, you can peel one extra mount off with you, but the rest of the Aneen go in a different direction, or they can go into the forest like you. You can have one major effect, whichever you want.
Yeah, I was thinking that perhaps we could track them down in the forest once they're in there. If they go in a different direction, that's not a huge deal, I don't think, because good luck following me in a forest. Okay.
No, I think if we can get one more, we should get one more.
Yeah, let's have that be the major effect then. We just look around and the Aneen's just like standing there like, hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, as you peel off, this one's mate comes with it, apparently. So, hey, hurrah.
Hurrah.
You can start your own Aneen farm if you want. It's very small.
Perfect.
Designer Aneen.
All right, so I think that, all right, Hillian, why don't you take that one, unless you want this one. And we should try to find a way back to Tiyune. I think we should stay in the forest, though. I don't like the idea of crossing open plains.
Well, then again, we're riding, animals and making noise, and then there are Juraskar.
I don't know what to do here.
Why don't you all give me a quick int check?
Okay. Let's see how that goes.
Both of you.
15.
12.
Yeah, so between you, I think you recognize that this is still pretty close to that explosion. And that would have, if it scared the Juraskar, you can feel pretty confident that anything for quite a distance has been frightened away. And they may be settling back, they may be heading back towards their normal hunting grounds, but you have a little bit of time to move through the forest relatively without worry. And, if you were to take your way carefully, you might be able to cut across to where, following the inside edge to where Tiyune is supposed to be able to meet up with you.
Yeah, I'd say we do that then. I'd say we cut along the inside edge of the forest, staying just out of sight.
Okay.
So, Tiyune, you have just seen this moth start killing people, and we're like, see ya, and off you went.
Yep.
What you doing?
Tiyune is going to try to stay close to the path that she said she'd be taking, but still try to stay out of sight and now be extra careful since there are apparently giant moths that kill you with light in this forest.
Would you head closer to the road because you think that's safer? Would you stay... You're about 60 feet off the road at this point, just from diving in and trying to get away. So that's a pretty big distance. It's up to you how deep into the woods you feel you need to be. You can be relatively confident in that Adalolle didn't feel the need to send a huge party after you. You are just a single person after all. So a party of 4 on Aneen's chasing you down seems like something a village idiot might think is perfectly normal, knowing what you're capable of.
So Tiyune would stay close enough to the road that she won't lose sight of it, but far enough into the forest that if she does hear someone else coming up on her, she can dive back into it pretty quickly. So maybe closer to 20 feet off the road.
Okay. So as you start skirting your way back, avoiding the moth, you hear the screams die down and eventually just end. You hear the beating of some wings over your head as thing flies away above the tree line. So
not flying toward me, flying away?
Flying over you, but way far up. You aren't anything it's paying attention to.
Okay, good.
You can assume it's the moth just finding a new space to be unmolested. Did you want to go back and see if you can get anything off the villagers, or just leave them alone and keep going on your way?
Ooh, as much as I would like some supplies.
Or an Aneen.
Yeah, or an Aneen. When I saw it happening, did it look like the light was also on the Aneen or just the people?
They had to dismount to come through the forest.
Oh, okay.
So they were just chasing you.
Okay, I'll go back to where I think the Aneen would be, where they would have dismounted from.
Cool. Are you stealthing it? Or?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to stealth it and giving the area where the people's bodies might be a very wide berth. She doesn't want to see what happened there.
Yeah, they're definitely about 40 feet in. You don't have to see any of that mess if you don't want to. And as you come up, you see that there is one person with the Aneens just kind of shell-shocked and, They just look completely lost. Like they don't know. They heard the screams. They heard the screams stop. They're like, don't know what to do. And so are you going to sneak up on them or are you going to leave them be?
I mean, would it be possible for me to get to Aneen without them seeing me?
They're pretty shell-shocked. If you roll well enough, you could definitely sneak up and grab an Aneen. And they would definitely notice once you took it and started going. But who knows what their reaction is. I mean, you've already killed several of their friends, apparently. Or arranged for their friends to be murdered. They don't know. They just know that they heard screams and no one has come back.
All right, I'll try to sneak up and get one without them seeing.
All right, let's see the roll.
Another 12.
Yeah, you definitely get there, and give me a speed roll. Yeah, so you're able to not only stealth but jump up in that saddle like you've been riding Aneen since you were 2, and you just take off. With that, I would even say you take the Aneen with the nicest saddle, and you are gone. You can get to wherever you need to get to.
Perfect.
And on that note, you have solved this Adalolle's village, a Turtlewan village puzzle that I was making.
Yeah, I don't know if solved is the right word.
I don't know what to call what you've done. You've escaped.
I'm strangely okay with being
wrecked.
Honestly, like I don't care.
Oh my goodness.
We've survived it.
Well, you have certainly not done your mission of getting them to
Nope.
want protection from the Order of Truth.
So do y'all want to hear what my idea was? My idea was, as we were riding out on Aneen, yell, and this is for the convergence, so that way they would think it wasn't the Aeon Priest that did this, but I decided against it.
Oh my goodness.
So confusing.
Yeah.
On that fantastic note, I think we are done for the day, and I could use a drink. And absolutely fantastic. This was super, super fun and quite the learning experience for me. I'm Kelric. You can find me on Twitter at Cormelon or at EQ Points, and you can find out anything that I'm doing on there. Goodness.
I'm Jess. You can find me on Twitter at RightJessR, or you can find all my social media and all of the other podcasts and shows that I do on my website, rightjess.com.
I'm Aaron. You can find me at Space Persona on Twitter.
And I'm Kenny. You can find me on Twitter at PunderDrone.
Thank you all. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to Qmenera, an Experience Points podcast. Are your ears burning for another podcast? We cannot recommend enough checking out our sister podcast, Roll to Fail. There are 6 friends who have no business behind the mic, or even rolling dice. If you like what we create, then you should check out our other 2 podcasts on our network. The original Experience Points podcast is a Starfinder game that releases every Wednesday. Stay up to date on all 3 Experience Points Network podcasts at EQ Points on Twitter and on experiencepoints.com. Pardon our dust as I continue updates on the website. Thank you so much for listening.